Let's start with a breakfast combo. So classic, it's practically a tradition. Eggs and white bread. I mean, who hasn't enjoyed a sunny side-up egg on a crispy slice of toast? It's quick, it's cheap, it's delicious. My mom used to make it for me every weekend, and I carry that habit right into my adult life. But here's the thing I didn't know back then. Every slice of that fluffy white bread was setting off a chain reaction in my body that I never saw coming. You might be eating it right now, thinking it's harmless, but listen to this. White bread creates what I like to call a blood sugar storm. It's loaded with refined carbs that break down into sugar so fast your body can't keep up. 1 minute your blood sugar's spiking through the roof, and the next, your insulin's rushing in like a firefighter to try to put out the blaze. Sounds dramatic, right? It is. I started noticing that after eating this combo, I'd feel a quick burst of energy. Great, I'm ready to tackle the day, and then bam, an hour later, I'd be yawning at my desk, feeling like I needed a nap. That crash wasn't just annoying, it was a sign of something worse brewing. Over time, those constant spikes can push your body toward insulin resistance, and that's a slippery slope to bigger problems like diabetes. But it doesn't stop there. Chronic inflammation kicks in too, this silent troublemaker that gnaws at your joints, your brain, your everything. I read about studies linking this kind of inflammation to dementia and even cancer risks, and it scared me straight. My mornings were supposed to fuel me, not drag me down. So I made a switch, and it was easier than I thought. Instead of white bread, I started pairing my eggs with whole grain toast. Nutty, hearty, and so much better for keeping my energy steady. Sometimes I'd roast a sweet potato, mash it up with a little salt, and pile my scrambled eggs on top. Talk about a flavor explosion. Fresh greens work too. I'll toss some spinach into the pan with my eggs, and it's like a little garden on my plate. These swaps don't just taste good. They turn your breakfast into a nutritional feast that loves you back. No more storms, no more crashes, just a happy, energized you. Now that we've tackled that white bread trap, let's move on to something I bet a lot of you do without even thinking twice: pairing eggs with soy. I'm talking about that tofu scramble next to your Sunnyside UPS, or maybe a splash of soy milk in your coffee while you're munching on an omelet. I used to do this all the time. I'd whip up some eggs, grab a soy sausage because I thought it was the healthy choice, and pat myself on the back for being so good to my body. After all, eggs are protein powerhouses, and soy's got that plant-based reputation, right? Wrong. Turns out, these two nutritional stars don't play nice together. I was shocked when I learned that soy can actually block your body from soaking up the best parts of eggs, like the protein that keeps your muscles strong and the biotin that's supposed to keep your hair shiny and your skin glowing. It's like they're having a tug-of-war in your stomach, and nobody wins. I started noticing my energy dipping more than usual, and my hair, well, let's just say my brush was collecting more than it should. That's when a friend who's into nutrition clued me in. Soy's got these compounds that mess with nutrient absorption when you eat it too close to eggs. Over time, that can leave you nutrient-starved. Think fatigue that won't quit, dull skin that makes you sigh in a mirror, and even hair thinning that sneaks up on you. I didn't want that. So I started keeping them apart. Eggs in the morning, maybe with some avocado, or a handful of greens and soy later, like in a lunchtime stir-fry. It's such a simple fix. If you really want them together, toss some spinach or kale into the mix. It's like a peacekeeper that lets the nutrients shine through. No more battling in my belly, just pure goodness that keeps me feeling light and strong all day. Okay, so we've dodged the white bread disaster and sorted out the soy showdown, but there's one more sneaky habit I used to love that turned out to be a total breakfast bandit: washing down my eggs with a cup of tea. I mean, doesn't that sound like the perfect morning? A fluffy omelet, a warm mug of black tea, maybe a little milk or sugar, and you're feeling all cozy and sophisticated. I'd sit there sipping away, thinking I was starting my day like some kind of health guru. But then I started feeling off, my stomach would grumble more than usual, and I'd get this heavy, bloated feeling that stuck around way too long. I couldn't figure it out until I stumbled across something wild. Tea's got these things called tannins, and they're like little thieves that snatch up the goodness from your eggs. We're talking protein, that muscle-building magic, and calcium, which keeps your bones from turning brittle. Tannins bind to them, And instead of your body soaking it all up, it's like, nope, sorry, you don't get to use this. I read that this can make digestion a real struggle, leaving you low on nutrients you thought you were getting. For me, it was a light bulb moment. Those mornings when I felt sluggish or my knees creaked a little extra. Maybe this was why. I don't want to give up my tea, though. It's my ritual. So, I try to tweak. I swap my black tea for herbal tea like chamomile or peppermint, which don't have those pesky tannins. Suddenly, my eggs were free to shine. No more bloating, no more theft. Another trick I picked up is just waiting a bit. Enjoy my eggs first, then sip my tea 30 minutes later. It's such an easy shift, and now I feel like I'm actually keeping that nutritional treasure for my breakfast instead of letting it slip away. So we've dodged the big breakfast pitfalls: white bread, soy, tea. And now it's time to flip the script and talk about something that makes eggs even better. Let's bring in a hero, pumpkin. I'll admit, I didn't think of pairing eggs with pumpkin until my sister made this amazing pumpkin egg soup one chilly morning. I took one spoonful, and it was like autumn in a bowl, creamy, warm, and so satisfying. But it's not just about the taste. This combo is a powerhouse for your eyes. You see, eggs are already loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin. These are like little bodyguards for your vision, protecting your eyes from blue light damage, from all that screen time we can't seem to avoid. Then pumpkin swoops in with vitamin A, plus more lutein and zeaxanthin. And suddenly you've got this super team shielding your eyes from things like macular degeneration. I started noticing my eyes felt less tired after long days, and I swear my night vision's sharper too. Driving home in the dark isn't as tricky anymore. The best part? It's so easy to make this work. You can steam some pumpkin and mash it into your scrambled eggs with a pinch of cinnamon. Trust me, it's delicious. Or try that soup my sister swears by. Just blend cooked pumpkin with broth, crack an egg in while it's simmering, and let it swirl together. It's like a hug for your taste buds and your eyes. I love knowing that while I'm enjoying my breakfast, I'm doing something good for myself, especially since my optometrist keeps reminding me to take care of my peepers as I get older. This isn't just food, it's a little act of self-love that keeps me seeing the world clearly. Now that we've got some winning combos, let's talk about the real key to unlocking all this goodness: cooking your eggs the right way. I used to think it didn't matter much. From scramble them, whatever, they're still eggs, right? But oh, was I wrong. I'd crank up the heat, toss them in a sizzling pan with cheap oil, and call it done when they were rubbery. Then I learned I was basically torturing all those nutrients out of them. High heat can zap the protein, the healthy fats, even the vitamins we're counting on, like B12 and that eye-saving lutein we just talked about. I'd end up with a plate of eggs that looked fine, but weren't giving me half the benefits they could. It was a wake-up call. So I started experimenting, and let me tell you, a little gentleness goes a long way. Boiling's my go-to now. Soft-boiled eggs with that runny yolk feel like a treat, and the nutrients stay intact. Steaming's another gem. I'll crack a couple into a bowl over simmering water, and they come out so fluffy, it's unreal. If I'm frying, I use olive oil. None of that processed stuff, and keep the heat medium, just enough to cook them slow and steady. I made this switch a few months back, and I swear I feel the difference. My energy's smoother, no more mid-morning crashes. It's like turning each egg into a golden nugget of nutrition instead of a shriveled-up shadow of what it could be. And it's not hard. 5 extra minutes of patience, and you're eating something that's actually fueling you. My neighbor tried it after I raved about it, and she's hooked too. Says her scrambled eggs taste better than ever. Cooking them right isn't just about health. It's about respecting what they can do for you. All right, we've covered the mistakes, the fixes, and the perfect cooking tricks. So what's next? Turning your breakfast into a full-on egg feast that's as fun as it is good for you. I used to think eggs were boring, just something to get through before coffee. But now, it's like a playground for my plate. Imagine this: cheesy spinach scrambled eggs, where the greens melt into the gooiness, and every bite's a burst of flavor. I tried it one morning when I had some leftover spinach, grated in a little cheddar, and couldn't believe how fancy it felt for something so simple. Or picture an apple egg salad. Chop up a crisp apple, mix it with hard-boiled eggs, a dollop of Greek yogurt, and a sprinkle of pepper. It's crunchy, creamy, and wakes up your taste buds in the best way. And don't sleep on that pumpkin egg soup we talked about. Simmer some broth, swirl in an egg, and let the pumpkin make it rich and velvety. I made it for a friend last week, and she begged me for the recipe. These aren't just meals. They're little adventures that make mornings something to look forward to. You can get creative, toss in whatever's in your fridge, like tomatoes or mushrooms, and see what happens. The beauty is you're not just avoiding the bad stuff we talked about earlier. You're building something that nourishes you from the inside out. I feel stronger, lighter, happier since I started playing with my eggs like this. So, give it a shot. Pick one idea, try it tomorrow, and let me know how it goes in the comments. If you love this, hit that like button, subscribe for more ways to feel your best, and let's keep making every meal a win. Here's to breakfasts that love us back. Well, there you have it. We've just taken an eye-opening journey with eggs together. From traps like white bread throwing your blood sugar into chaos, soy sneaking away nutrients, to tea quietly stealing protein and calcium. I bet you're as surprised as I was to learn how these harmless seeming habits can do some real damage. But here's the best part. We don't have to ditch our beloved eggs. Just a few little tweaks, like swapping in whole grain bread, keeping soy separate, or sipping herbal tea, can turn your breakfast into a true powerhouse of energy. Then there's pumpkin, that quiet hero for your eyes, and the gentle cooking tricks to lock in every bit of goodness. I still remember the thrill of trying cheesy spinach scrambled eggs for the first time. So delicious, and it made me feel like I was really taking care of myself. You don't have to overhaul everything today, but just pick one idea, maybe that pumpkin egg soup, or simply turning down the heat when you fry your eggs, and see how it feels. Every breakfast is a chance to love yourself a little more, to feel strong, light, and ready for whatever the day throws at you. I've started looking forward to my mornings so much more since making these changes, and I'd love for you to feel that too. So, give it a try tomorrow, then drop a comment below and tell me how it went. I'm dying here. If this video sparked something for you, hit that like button, subscribe for more ways to thrive, and let's keep turning every meal into a win. Here's to mornings that give back as much as we put in,